Welcome to the Reddit selection, where the wildest, funniest, and most jaw-dropping stories from Reddit come to life. Today we are diving into Amethyst Hole. Sit back, grab a snack, and enjoy the show. Am I the butthole for telling my Phil doesn't owe her a house? When my husband and I got married, his parents, divorced but still best friends, bought us a house as a wedding gift. I think it's relevant to say that my husband and I have been together since we were in high school, and his parents are good friends of my family. My Phil has been married since my Lee, was in middle school, and his new wife, let's call her Patty, brought along a daughter Lee's age into the marriage. I'll call Sil Eli, for simplicity's sake. Eli has always had an involved dad, and doesn't have a father-daughter relationship with Phil. Her dad is well-to-do, but has 5 other kids, so has not able to be as generous as my Phil is with Lee, who's an only child. Ella's getting married in a month, and she came over out of the blue yesterday to rant, because she found out that Phil isn't getting her and her fiancée Dora a house for their wedding present. Lee and I listened to her and Dora's rant, but Lee got upset and had to excuse himself after Dora started mentioning that Phil might be homophobic. I told them plainly that they were being ungrateful because Phil is covering their 2-month-long honeymoon expenses and paying for a portion of their wedding. He only did the latter for Lee and I. I also added that Phil and Mill paid for the house together, so it wasn't all him. And that Patty didn't help whatsoever despite being Lee's stepmom. But that's not relevant, I guess. Dora and Eli both got mad at me and said I was defending a bigot and stormed out. And since then, I've been asked not to come to the wedding. Patty sided with Eli and is now not on good terms with my Phil, who's upset and feels like his contributions aren't being appreciated. So am I the butthole for telling my Sil that she's not owed a house? Edit. Forgot to add. Eli and Doris only been together for a year and a half. They decided to get engaged spontaneously at Patty's Thanksgiving dinner. Phil disapproves of Dorothea's profession. She's a stripper, but has never outwardly shown it. I wasn't sure if it was relevant to bring up their past, but based on a few comments, I think it is. Eli and Dora's relationship started when they met at Dora's job. The 1 year and a half has been a sugar mommy-baby dynamic, but Ellie's expressed it's serious. Phil and I are close, and he privately told Lee and I that he doesn't think they're in it for the long run. Now let's check out some of the comments on this post. Honestly, if she's any good at stripping, she should be able to get them a house quickly. Your comment just reminded me of my old neighbor. She was a stripper and owned 5 of the 10 condos in the association I rented a unit through at the time. This was back in 25. Very smart woman. She tried to talk me into giving it a try. I told her I admired her, but didn't have the grit to do her job. She was nice about it. Said she understood. I hope she's retired on the money those condos brought her. Here's the response from OP. You'd think that, but she's not good at saving money. Well, that answers my question about who's the sugar mama. I initially assumed it would be Dora given her line of work. And now for the next story. Am I the butthole for not driving my friend's girlfriend to school? So for some context, me, 18 male, and my friend, also 18 male, needed to get to school for our after-school robotics club. Me and my friend have a very important role on the team, and we were doing some important things that day. And I was picking my friend up from the library, and his girlfriend asked if she could ride my car as well. Right now, I only have a provisional license, meaning I can only drive one other person in my car, who is not a family member. I chose my friend to ride the car with me and my friend's girlfriend, who I should say had a hurt knee, needed to walk to school, which is like a 10-minute walk, and she had some of her friends to support her. And she got really mad, and was apparently limping. I didn't see, but I trust her friends. By the time I dropped off my friend, she was already to the school. I did take all their stuff with me in my trunk. But I really didn't want to break the law, take my friend with me, because if my mom found out, she would take my car away, and I've tried apologizing. But she keeps saying, how would your mom know? And I feel really bad about the whole situation. And now for the next story. Am I the butthole for not letting my GF get away with hypothetical murder? This feels so stupid. But here goes. My girlfriend, 40 female, I, 35 male, are watching a show where one of the characters thinks her friend murdered somebody. And she immediately responds something like, I have a go bag, some cash and fake passport. We're going to have to move to Canada. My girlfriend asks me, would you do the same for me? My response is an honest, I think that depends on who you killed and why. Wrong answer, apparently, because she gets upset for me not hypothetically helping my GF leave the country after committing murder without question. Apparently she would obviously do that for me, and this means I don't love her enough. I'm shocked that we're apparently doing those stereotypical gotcha love test question a few decades after being teenagers, and after being together for 5 years. I'm also quite upset that she's now apparently questioning my love for her over this childish nonsense. Am I the butthole? And now for the next story. Am I the butthole for getting a teacher to fix an incorrect question on a quiz and taking a classmate's first perfect score away? My 16 female bio class recently took a quiz, and when we got the results back, a classmate, we'll call her Vivian, not her real name, got a 100 and told the whole class that it was her first 100 on any assignment in the class all year. She mentioned that she put one answer for a certain question, but I had gotten a different answer and was almost positive that my answer was right based on the work I did during the quiz. A group of friends in the class also got the same incorrect answer, so we went to the teacher to ask her to explain. After working through it with us, the teacher determined that her original answer in the key was incorrect, and she decided that she would regrade everyone's quiz, meaning Vivian would get a 95 instead of a 100, and my grade would be raised to correct for the error. I thought that was the end of it, but now Vivian is repeating this story to everyone she can, blaming me for taking her 100 away, because I wanted a perfect score so badly. She's also placing the blame entirely on me, even though 3 other people also raised the same concern to the teacher with me. Am I the butthole for raising it with the teacher? Is Vivian because she's repeating and misconstruing what happened? Or is it my teacher for taking points away for her error? Now let's check out some of the comments on this post. Not the butthole. She didn't get the answer right, so she shouldn't have gotten a 100. Plus multiple people got points off, even though they had the correct answer, and multiple people went to the teacher. Vivian shouldn't be blaming you, and the teacher should look over her answer keys before grading. Exactly. She did not have a perfect score. She got one wrong. The teacher sucks for punishing people over her mistake, though. Both answers should get full points this time, but with the understanding the wrong answer is not to be trusted again. She wasn't punishing anyone. Punishing people? You mean correctly grading the quiz based off of the right answers like teachers have always graded quizzes and exams? No. Like when a store has a price advertised wrong, and they honor it anyway. When I was a teacher, I never would have taken away points to fix my own error. Agree with Minachanga that both answers should get points this time. Lowering the grade after handing it back is always wrong. That's bad teaching. Would you consider it bad teaching if the error caused a higher grade after handing it back? If so, why is it bad teaching if it lowers the grade? Because it is lowering a grade after handing it back, which is bad practice. Clawing back points is bad teaching. It should never happen. Handing out extra points because a student caught a mistake is a reward they earn. Losing points over your mistake is a punishment they did not earn. Own your mistakes. Make sure the students understand that they won't get free points from the same wrong answer in the future, and move on without clawing back points. This is 100% the right answer, and it's wild to me how many people disagree. It's okay in this context for teenagers to be afforded a little grace. And now for the next story. Am I the butthole for hiding my expensive shampoo and conditioner from my friend's guest? I, 28 female, share an apartment with my friend, 34 male. Last weekend, while we were away, he invited his female friend, Sarah, to stay over. When we got back, I noticed she had used most of my shampoo and conditioner without asking. I had splurged on these expensive products to treat myself. I also make a lot less money than my friend. Today, Sarah came over again for a visit and asked to shower at ours before heading to a dance class. However, I had taken my expensive products to my room this time, leaving only my friend's basic shampoo out for her to use. When she couldn't find the conditioner, she asked my friend, who came to my room to ask me about it. I told him that she's his guest, and it's not my responsibility to provide spa products for her. My friend got mad and thinks I'm rude and petty. Am I the butthole? Now let's check out some of the comments on this post. Ask your roommate how much the products cost. Laugh in his face when he thinks it's like men's shampoo that's $5. I say this as a man. Not the butthole. Also, I get having a quick shower to freshen up, But who does a whole shampoo and condition before going to a dance class? That's just going to drop a bunch of sweat into their hair anyway. Not the butthole, X2. Yeah, this OP, huh? Your friend should be caring for his guest. Tell him how much you spent, and advise him to purchase it for her. He should be happy you didn't ask him to reimburse you for the ridiculous amount she used on her last visit. For sure. If he wants her to have the good stuff, he can buy it. OPS already being chill by not asking him to replace what she used. Well, somebody who saw an opportunity to use good shit for free FC. Probably emptied some into a water bottle to take home. All it takes is a squirt, not most of a bottle. The more expensive, the less you use. I second the theft theory. I third it. If that's a thing. Fourth. This has gotta be what happened. If these were fairly new bottles, do we know, and she used it up, her hair would have been heavy and wet looking, and no way would she go out anywhere. Fifth. I came here to say the exact same thing. The audacity of both of them to demand answers from the OP about why her stuff is hidden. Do I have a dirty mind thinking she wanted to shower after the sex she probably had with the male friend before going to the dance class? And now for the next story. Am I the butthole? My good friend's sister is basically a good old boy in a dress. Hi, first post here. I really needed to get this off my chest. So I've had a very good friend for the past 7-8 years. I have known his sister since before she transitioned into becoming a woman. I have a firm belief that you can transition from one side to the other if you so choose, and everything should be hunky-dory. However, I also think that sometimes it's maybe just not meant to be for some people. Like for instance, my friend's sister transitioned around the age of 30, I believe. Large individual, very masculine features, and voice that at this point in their life is set in stone. On one hand, I empathize with her, but on the other hand, she straight up looks and sounds like a good old boy, wearing a dress with 5 o'clock shadow. My buddy keeps bringing up politics about the new president and how it's practically going to be life or death for her. Yet I don't feel sympathy. I want to, but I don't. His sister is John Goodman in a dress, and I feel like I don't have any capacity to sympathize with her situation. And just to be double clear, I do not feel this way about most trans people. Call me a bigot. I feel what I feel. Am I the a-hole? Like and subscribe for more awesome daily Reddit content. And don't forget to hit the bell to get notified when I upload new videos.